All right, back for another beer review, and today I'll be reviewing yet another beer from Tröegs Independent Brewing, and they are out of Hershey, Pennsylvania, and this is their Graffiti Highway IPA. So this is an IPA that comes in at 6% alcohol by volume, no IBUs listed. Time of review, this can is approximately 7 weeks old, and this can also has a freshest by date of June 25th of 2024. We're just over 2 months away from that date. So according to the brewery, we should be more than good to go. So this is one of 2 new year-round releases from Tröegs. The other one is their Graffiti Highway Double IPA. So the Double IPA version of this one, I picked up the single to give it a go first, and here we are. So this one is brewed with Chinook, Lotus, Dorado and Mosaic hops, and that's pretty much all I know about it. They do have a spiel here on the side of the can that, if I remember at the end, I will read. If not, it'll be in the description box, but it's kind of generic. I briefly looked over it. It's like generic tasting notes. It's whatever. You know what I mean? It's not bringing anything to the table where it's like I have to read it, but at the end, we'll do it. So yeah, this has that kind of like gentle haze to it. Now, the actual hop bill is kind of interesting. They lead off with Chinook and Lotus. Don't know if I've ever had those 2 hops in a beer before, let alone being like the first 2 hops listed, but then you got Dorado and Mosaic. So yeah, anyway, yeah, that pours out like a hazy IPA. Has that like bright, sunshiny yellow-orange color. On camera, it's gonna look more dull. Hold it up to the light. Yeah, I mean, you can kind of see the shadow of my hand, but you can't make it out entirely. So it has that like kind of, gentle to solid haze. Has a 2-finger of a bright white, fluffy looking head. A lot of big bubbles mixed in with smaller bubbles. But yeah, I mean, it looks nice. Kind of what you expect out of a new IPA nowadays. It's typically hazy and whatnot. So let's get a nose. Very nice. It has like a rindy, zesty kind of like orange and grapefruit nose. Touch of tropical fruit, like a sweet mango. Definitely berry, like a mixed berry, a little bit of like strawberry and blueberry. I would say it's the Mosaic, but I don't remember exactly what Lotus is supposed to kick out, because I've had Lotus a decent amount, but not too much, right? But I think Lotus might also have like mixed berry as well. A little bit like a honeydew melon. But then there's on the back end of the aroma like a little bit of like pine resin, earthy and floral. There's also a hint of like the malt. There has this like bready, biscuity kind of malt character. Not too big, but definitely there. It is a lower ABV IPA, 6%, so I kind of expect that. Yeah, it smells really nice. Let's get into it. Cheers, everyone. Very nice. Very nice. I don't think it's amazing right off that first sip, but again, as I'm reviewing this as a shelfie beer for the month of April 2024, and this, I think, fits the bill for like a shelfie IPA. First thing I'll say on the palate, the body on this one's like medium bodied, 6% nice. The mouthfeel is definitely akin to what you want out of a hazy / New England IPA. It has a slight crispness to it, so it's like more of like a mild to moderate carbonation. Maybe more approaching moderate, but not quite to that level. It's a bit softer than anticipated, but it has a smooth, almost creamy-esque sensation. So I think the mouthfeel is actually quite nice for a shelfie IPA. Now, this is 7 weeks old, so it's not like super duper fresh, but they do give, a couple more months on it as far as like the stability on the shelf. Like it's fine. But I could tell that maybe if I would have drank this 3 or 4 weeks ago, well, I first picked this one up, like 2.5 weeks ago. So I think when I grabbed it, it was like 4.5, 5 weeks old. I think this would be a little bit more vibrant. Right at the forefront, that bready, biscuity malt hits me, dives underneath the palate. Then right after that, waves of citrus. It's, again, zesty, rindy, juicy, all-encompassed, orange and grapefruit notes. A little bit of tangerine, maybe dare I say tangelo. After that, I get a touch of that mixed berry, a bit of like a tropical stone fruity vibe, a touch of mango, honeydew melon. Now, those are more fleshy and a little bit sweeter on the palate, because like mid-palate, it has a little bit more sweetness than it does right at the tip of the tongue. On the finish, however, this one kind of balances out. It's semi to full-on dry as far as the dryness goes, but the bitterness is more of like just a mild bitterness, but there is a nice like floral resinous pine kind of finish to it that kind of balances out all that fruity goodness. 6%, super easy to drink. And look at the glass lacing. Like, I don't really give a shit too much about glass lacing. Some people say that's an indication of a good beer, but it always looks nice, right? When you have the glass lacing. This is a crusher. For 6%, this is 100% a crusher. Has nice flavors. This is and I know this might sound bad, and honestly, when I say shelfy beer, it sounds probably bad to people. Like, oh, what the hell's a shelfy beer? A lot of people say shelf turds. I use it as an endearing term. I feel like shelfies are like, if I don't want to break the bank and I want something for value and I'm shopping at a grocery store or I go to my bottle shop and I can't make up my mind, what do I grab off the shelf that's readily available? I always know it's going to be pretty good coming from a brewery that's, does good things in general. This would be a beer that's I'm like, all right, kind of want a hazy IPA. I don't want it to be too boisterous. I want it to be easy drinking. I could, crush 2 or 3 of them in a couple hour period and not, feel all messed up. This would fit the bill. It has nice fruit notes, has a pretty solid finish, good balance as a whole. The mouthfeel is better than a lot of shelfy IPAs that you see, and I think it's a very well done, pretty fucking good IPA for something that you can, the value's here is what I'll say. So Tröegs, their Graffiti Highway IPA. Like I said, 6%, there's nothing you can tell, there's nothing in the chest, not on the palate. I'm gonna give this a straight 4 out of 5. That's what I'm 4 out of 5. Like, I think, again, if we're talking about shelfy IPs, this might be in like the 4.25, 4.3 realm. Like, it's just really, really solid. It's highly enjoyable. There's no off flavors. There's nothing, stopping me from saying this is a 4 out of 5 beer. So I do enjoy this one. Anyway, price point availability, and here's again where you're not breaking the bank. I think this is like $12, $13 a 6-pack. Maybe a touch higher than your Sierra Nevadas of the world, but like that Cosmic Little Thing that I did recently. That was a double IPA, 8%. I'd rather have this over the Cosmic Little Thing, if we're just being honest. Now I'm curious to see what the double IPA version of this is, because I think this is pretty damn good, and I imagine double IPA is probably better bang for buck, because I think it's 9%, so it's way bigger than this. And it does come in the 19.2 fluid ounce stovepipe can. So when I grab that, I'll probably grab one of those. And availability, it's Tröegs. They probably have a beer finder. If you're in I would say Mid-Atlantic, New England, Northeast area, you probably can get your hands on Tröegs. Maybe not this one specifically, but this is a new year-round offering. So if you do get Tröegs, you should see this at some point, if not already, along with the double IPA version. So if you've had this one before, post in the comment section. Let me read the back. See, I always forget. Very, very generic, but at this point, you can just click off whatever. It'll be in the description. It says, let's paint the picture. You, your friends, and a trip to nowhere. Graffiti Highway wanders off the beaten path where twists and turns of citrus and tropical aromas merge into a colorful mosaic. It's a beer with hoppy. See, they said hoppy, Joe. Joe, they said hoppy. He probably won't watch this review. Fruit-forward flavors and mild bitterness. Yeah. Take your taste buds on a journey with a juicy hazy IPA primed for adventure. So they don't call it a hazy IPA on the label like in big bold letters, but they do mention that it is a hazy IPA. So anyway, like I said, if you can get some Tröegs, check this one out. Like I say, I don't think your mind's not gonna be blown if you drink a lot of awesome, beer and a lot of crazy hype stuff. But if you want something that's around 12, 13 bucks a 6-pack, you can easily get it. Again, this fits the bill. So appreciate everybody stopping by for another beer review here on the Beer Patrol. Till the next one. Cheers. Oh yeah, and another thing I forgot to say is that for a hazy or for something that looks like this, it's a very clean beer. Very, very clean. And I don't get that a lot with hazy, so cheers.